My business rests entirely on my own shoulders. Two girl clerks with typewriters and ledgers in the anteroom, my own room with a writing desk, safe, consulting table, easy chair, and telephone. Such is my entire working apparatus. So simple to control, so easy to direct. I'm quite young and lots of business comes my way. I don't complain. I don't complain. At the beginning of the year, a young man snapped up the empty premises next to mine, which, very foolishly, I had hesitated to rent until it was too late. They also consist of a room and an anteroom, with a kitchen, however, thrown in. The room and anteroom I would certainly have found some use for. My two girl clerks feel somewhat overdriven as it is, but what would a kitchen have been to me? This petty consideration was solely responsible for my allowing the premises to be snatched from under my nose. Now that young man sits there. Harris, his name is. What he actually does there, I have no idea. On the door sign is Harris Burrow. I have made inquiries, and I am told it is a business similar to mine. One can't exactly warn people against extending the fellow credit, for after all, he is a young and pushing man who probably has a future. Yet, one can't go so far as to advise it, for by all appearances he has no assets. The usual thing said by people who don't know. Sometimes I met Harris on the stairs. He seems always to be in an extraordinary hurry, for he literally shoots past me. I have never got a good look at him yet, for his office key is always in his hand when he passes me. In a trice, he has the door open, like the tail of a rat he has slipped through, and I'm left standing again before the sign, Harris Burrow, which I have read already far oftener than it deserves. Their wretchedly thin walls betray the honorable and capable man, but shield the dishonest. My telephone is fixed to the wall that separates me from my neighbor, but I single that out merely as a particular ironical circumstance, for even if it hung on the opposite wall, everything could be heard in the next room. I have accustomed myself to refrain from naming the names of my customers when speaking on the telephone to them, but of course it does not need much skill to guess the names from characteristics but unavoidable turns of the conversation. Sometimes I absolutely dance with apprehension around the telephone, the receiver at my ear, and yet can't help divulging secrets. Because of all this, my business decisions have naturally become unsure. My voice nervous. What is Harris doing while I am telephoning? If I wanted to exaggerate, and one must often do that so as to make things clear in one's mind, I might assert that Harris does not require a telephone. He uses mine. He pushes his sofa against the wall and listens, while I, at the other side, must fly to the telephone, listen to all the requests of my customers, come to difficult and grave decisions, carry out long calculations, but worst of all, during all this time, involuntarily give Harris valuable information through the wall. Perhaps he doesn't wait even for the end of the conversations, but gets up at the point where the matter has become clear to him, flies through the town with his usual haste, and before I have hung up the receiver, is already at his goal, working against me.